Hello and welcome to Tuesday's football review. Here we're going to talk about the dramatic night, midweek football, which delivered twists, resilience, and big performance from Premier League to Spain, Coppa Italia, and so forth. Let's analyze it together. Full-time whistle at the Molineux, Wolverhampton 2, Liverpool 1. Andre the Hero as Edwards' men caused back-to-back upsets. Andre's first ever goal for Wolves was a 94th minute strike to sink Liverpool, as the Reds missed a chance to go into the top four. Andre's deflected strike in the 94th minute clinched another shock result for the Premier League's bottom club Wolves as they stunned Liverpool 2-1 at Molineux. Wolves boss Rob Edwards wheeled away down the touchline in celebration after Friday's derby win over Aston Villa. And there were similar scenes where Andre's audacious effort took a massive ricochet of Joe Gomez and left Alisson flat-footed in stoppage time. Liverpool arrived in the West Midlands knowing a victory would take them level with Manchester United and Aston Villa and the race for a top four finish, but they were lackluster from the first whistle. The Reds had the only 2 shots on target in the first half, but neither of those from Hugo Ekitike and Dominic Szoboszlai had Jose Sa unduly worried in the Wolves' goal. Arne Slot's side should have gone ahead early in the second half from Mohamed Salah's corner, but from almost directly beneath the crossbar, Cody Gakpo flicked the ball off the chest of Curtis Jones and onto the woodwork, and Milos Kerkez could not react on the rebound. Wolves hit on the front from their first shot of the game in the 78th minute, with Rodrigo Gomez clipping his finish over Alisson after excellent hold-up play from fellow substitute Tolu Arokodare. Liverpool were only behind for 5 minutes, despite Sa turning Rion Nguma's effort off the post as Salah intercepted a poor pass from Jan-Rickner Bellegarde and powered past Wolves' goalkeeper. The visitors looked more likely victorious as Virgil van Dijk passed up a great headed chance, but they were dealt a sucker punch at the end as a deflection of Andre's shot left Alisson helpless. This was the first time in Premier League history that a team inside the relegation zone had scored a winning goal in the 90th minute or later against the reigning champions. And Wolves, having only won one of their first 28 games in the Premier League this season, now have back-to-back victories over teams starting the day in third, which is Aston Villa, and fifth, which is Liverpool. They are the first team to beat 2 top 5 teams while bottom of the pile in a single season since West Brom in 2017, and the first side to do back-to-back. Liverpool, meanwhile, have now lost 5 Premier League games to a 90-minute goal this season, the most ever by any team in a single campaign. The Reds have 19 shots to Wolves 4 and finished with 1.81 expected goals, but some defensive fragility at the end once again proved their undoing. Full-time score once again, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Liverpool 1. Full-time score at the new camp, Barcelona 3, Atletico de Madrid 0, but on aggregates, Atletico Madrid won 4-3 and went to the finals of the Copa del Rey. Barcelona gave their all to overturn their 4-0 deficit from the first leg, but they could not find another goal to force extra time. Atletico de Madrid are through the final of the Copa del Rey despite a 3-0 semi-final second leg to loss to Barcelona, who fell just short in their comeback. Atletico held a 4-0 advantage from the first leg, and though a Marc Bernal double either side of a Rafinha penalty gave Barcelona hope, they had given themselves too steep a mountain to climb. Barcelona came out with a point to prove, and Fermi Lopez clipped the top of the crossbar just 71 seconds in as they chased an early opener. Rafinha, Ferran Torres, and Lamine Yamal also changes go begging before the latter danced away from Ademola Lookman on the short corner to square a low ball into the middle, which Bernal turned in from a close range in the 29th minute. Lookman headed Atletico's best chance of the first half over the bar, and moments later, Mark Pubil gave away a penalty at the other end, catching Pedri late, and Rafinha confidently dispatched it on the stroke of halftime. Barcelona continued to dominate, but it took until the 72nd minute for them to get another lifeline. Another short corner routine saw Joao Cancelo whip in the cross for Bernal to stab home. However, Bernal blazed his chance for a hat-trick over the bar before Yamal curled wide in the dying seconds, with Atletico scraping through after just about protecting their lead. Though it was the same final second leg for Diego Simeone's side to forget, they will have the chance to play for the trophy. Atletico have qualified for the Copa del Rey final for the 20th time in their history, the second time under Simeone and the first time in 13 years. Barcelona gave their everything to the comeback, having 21 shots worth 3.09 expected goals, with 9 of those hitting the target and won the woodwork. Their chance was led by Bernal, who at 18 years and 281 days old became the youngest player to score 2 goals in a single match for Barcelona in the Copa del Rey since at least the 2013-14 season. Once again, full-time score Barcelona 3, Atletico Madrid 0, but on aggregates, Atletico won 4-3 and went to the finals of the Copa del Rey. It will be all to play for in Milan next month in the Coppa Italia semi-final second leg after a goalless encounter between Inter and Como. Como were unable to make the most of their home advantage in the first leg of their Coppa Italia semi-final, with the Inter after the 0-0 draw at the Stadio Giuseppe Sinigaglia. The home side had the better of the chances, with Alex Valle squandering a golden opportunity to give Cesc Fabregas' side the lead and a tie heading into next month's second leg, but it will be all to play for in Milan. Mergim Vojvoda failed to score with 2 good chances in the first half, first seeing a strike blocked by Carlos Augusto before curling wide of the far post with the outside of his foot as Inter struggled to find their rhythm. Nico Paz also went close before the break, forcing a strong save from Josep Martinez after creating some space for himself on the left side of the box and firing a powerful shot. Matteo Darmian's cross struck the near post just 13 seconds into the second half, but in the 48th minute, Valle somehow failed to hit the target from within the 6-yard box following Ivan Smolcic's low cross. Neither side pushed victory in the closing stages at the risk of losing the first leg, though Fabregas did try to gain some late momentum in the few changes. The final score, Como 0, Inter Milan 0, all to play in the second leg. Full-time score at Hill Dickinson Stadium, Everton 2, Burnley 0, as Moyes' men rediscover their home comforts. Everton ended their winless streak on home soil while boosting their European hopes following a routine victory over struggling Burnley. Everton got back to winning ways at Hill Dickinson Stadium with a routine 2-0 win over Burnley, which goals from James Tarkowski and Kieran Dewsbury-Hall ended the Toffees' winless streak at home soil, which stretched back to December 6th and boosted the European hopes as they moved within 2 points of the Premier League's top 6. Dewsbury-Hall sounded a warning for Burnley when he curled over from inside the box, but the first big chance came from former Burnley defender Tarkowski. He rose highest to meet James Garner's inviting 32nd minute free kick and directed a looping header into the right-hand corner. Another Garner delivery almost led to the second goal in the first half stoppage time, with Jarrell Branthwaite's header kept out by Martin Dubravka. Iliman Ndiaye saw a neat finish ruled out for offside 9 minutes into the second half, but Everton got their second goal on the hour mark. Ndiaye fed Dewsbury-Hall, who beat Dubravka with a delicate chip. Idrissa Gueye almost scored a third in a spectacular fashion when his curling 20-yard attempt rattled the crossbar. though Jordan Pickford had to make a fantastic save to deny Lyle Foster and preserve Everton's clean sheet at the other end in stoppage time. Full-time score once again at Hill Dickinson Stadium, Everton with a vital win, 2-0 against Burnley. Full-time score between Leeds and Sunderland. Leeds United 0, Sunderland 1. Sunderland stole all 3 points at Leeds United in the Premier League game that never really caught fire at Elland Road. Habib Diarra squeezed home a second-half penalty as Sunderland defeated Leeds United 1-0 in the forgettable Premier League encounter at Elland Road. It was the Black Cats' only shot on target in the entirety of Tuesday's contest, with Ethan Ampadu having been pinged for handball. Leeds went closest to opening the scoring in a dismal first half when Anton Stach's 25-yard free kick brought a smart stop from the Premier League debutant Melchior Erborg, while Pascal Struch thought he could have a penalty when grappling with Luke on 9. The hosts thought they had gone ahead when Joe Rodden thumped in Stach's teasing free kick after the break, but he was judged to be offside. Referee Stuart Atwell then took a trip to the pitch-side monitor when Ampadu handled after Wilson's Isidore shot spun in the air. Diarra's penalty had just enough to get past Carl Darlow, who he thought to have saved it after getting a full hand into it. Dominic Calvert-Lewin almost made Dan James' teasing low center, and Jakob Jol had a couple of late efforts as Leeds sought a leveler, but Sunderland saw out 12 nervy minutes of injury time to reach the 40-point mark. Full-time whistle once again at the Elland Road, Leeds United 0, Sunderland 1. In other results in the Tuesday's fixtures, Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, in the England FA Cup, Port Vale have defeated Bristol City, and in French Coupe de France quarter-final, Strasbourg have defeated Reims with a 2-1 win against Reims. And that's it for Tuesday night's fixtures results. Till then, again, on Wednesday, in a blistering fixture list. See you then for the post-match analysis. But as of now, good night.